All right. So now you've got this message that is built on interest, confidence, belonging, identity, um, and and you know what you want to say to spark the interest, to cultivate the confidence, to build the belonging, and to instill the identity. Um, how are you going to get that message across? Well, that's going to vary tremendously based on your school, your setting, your situation, what opportunities you have. But I'm going to talk to you about some things to keep in mind as you convey your messages. One thing is you want to be extremely careful about what we've been calling planting weeds. In other words, try not to take an approach of myth busting. Don't use terms like geeks, cubicles, code monkeys. In other words, do not repeat a stereotype in order to say, oh, that's wrong. Okay? Because it might be that the student was not conscious of the stereotype before, and now what you've said is, everybody else thinks that computer scientists are geeks who work in cubicles and they just call them code monkeys. But that's wrong. That's not really the case. And what the student is left with, first off, you never really know what they're going to remember. What might stick is geeks, cubicles, code monkeys, right? And did he say that that's what computer scientists are like? You just don't know if that's the part that'll stick. And also, you've said everybody thinks this, but it's not true. So you might not be all that convincing to them. Instead, what I'd like you to do is recognize what those stereotypes are when you're communicating with students. I mean, know them in your own mind. Don't repeat them, but do counter them. So if people think that computer scientists are only interested in computing, they're very narrowly focused, then what you want to do, for example, with your role models is show them people who are computing students or computing experts who have a wide range of interests and skills. So, for example, on this slide about reaching out, I have a high school student who went to talk with elementary school students, and this high school student is in AP Computer Science. She's done an extremely good job, and she is a ballet dancer also. So she talked about ballet and about studying ballet and how she wants to go to college, but will only go someplace where she can study dance and computer science. Another way to reach the students beyond, for example, posters or announcements or videos that you might make is show up at orientation, at elective fairs. Don't give out your syllabus because that's full of terms that the students don't understand yet, could find intimidating. Instead, show examples of neat projects that your students have already done in the past, and that might spark the interest of a wide range of potential students. Okay, connect your current students with potential students. Have them talk to their friends who might take CS. And then another really cool thing to do to reach out is to connect with clubs, sports teams, student government, anywhere where you have students that you might find a way to do a project that they'd like to have done, but that involves computing skills so that they can learn a little about computing, so that they can see how it connects to interests they already have. Do things together. Talking about specific exhibits, posters, guest speakers, These are the points that I just made. One of the things that's really important to consider is that you should look at the images that you use and consider what they are communicating. In other words, if you're trying to attract a broader range of students into your classes, and what you're doing is showing pictures of all young white men doing something that is not obvious what this is about, that is not going to attract that broader range of students, that they will not see themselves in that image, and it's not going to accomplish what you want. You want to let the students, the potential students, see themselves as possible computer science students in your class. Okay, take every opportunity to recruit. My husband is a computer science faculty member at a university, at the University of Virginia. And at the beginning of the semester, he goes into the bookstore and he talks to the students who are there. And he says, so what are you studying this semester? You ought to take computer science. And he's got like an elevator pitch. He talks to everybody. If we go out in town to a restaurant and a college-age student waits on us, what are you studying? You in college? Yeah. What courses are you taking? You should take computer science. Here's why. So you should also be taking every opportunity to talk up your class, the occupation, everything about computing.